I'm Stephen John Drew from the official GonnaGeek.com podcast, a proud member of the Gonna Geek Network, just like the one you're listening to now. The opinions expressed are those of each individual. Check out other geeky podcasts at GonnaGeekNetwork.com and get ready because geekiness begins in 3, 2, 1.
Stand by for a brand new episode of All Things Good and Nerdy.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to episode 548 of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. This is recorded live on Sunday, January 21st, 2024. My name is Chris. I am joined by the usual band of misfits today. I guess to keep things entertaining, we'll start first with Mr. Anthony Bachman.
I'm tired. Why are we awake?
Because it's our nature to suffer.
That sounds right.
And also, we are joined today by one Willie D. Nelson.
I am here and I am awake.
He sounds very awake, and he is staring quite fixated at his webcam without even blinking. Oh, there's a blink.
Oh, I didn't know I wasn't supposed to blink. That wasn't part of that. I don't know.
I was wondering when you would blink, that's all.
Oh, I wasn't trying not to blink. It was just I didn't need to.
I see. We do have some folks.
Now I'm thinking about it.
We do have some folks in the chat room this morning. We have our good friend Naki, who's on the Twitch side of the house, and then Ernesto with My Fave Tech is on the YouTube side of the house as we get started this morning. So thank you for joining us for this latest installment of your wacky weekend morning show that is the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast.
Oh, shoot, it is.
It is. Willie, are you freezing still? We were talking about it a little bit in pre-show. Did it warm up any for you?
No.
For those unaware, Willie and I live on the East Coast, and we're in the midst of a cold snap that'll go away tomorrow, basically. But where I live, it is like 14 degrees out right now, and I think Willie said it's like, 30 where you are right now?
It says it's 27 currently, but it's sunny.
I mean, the sun melts the ice if your roads are icy, so you got that going for you.
Then you get black ice.
So yeah, then it just freezes again, and it's more dangerous.
I guess the question is supposed to get cold enough to refreeze overnight? I don't know.
I said 36 years. Yeah, it's been staying above freezing lately the last couple of days for us because it keeps snowing off and on still.
Yeah, we've had snow off and on, and then I think by Wednesday it's supposed to be 52 and rain. So now we're going to have flooding as all the snow melts and then the rain comes in. It's going to be great. Thanks, weather. We love you.
Oh, yes. And a fun little fact, I did notice the last time it rained that the house was leaking a little bit, and there was some shingles out in the yard over that way.
You're a renter, right?
Yeah.
That's a landlord problem.
There was already somebody on the roof one morning. I was like, what the fuck is going on? Someone knocking me, get up and get some clothes on. Don't want to answer the door with my dick out, especially with how cold it is. Because then it'll shrivel.
Yeah, I was afraid we were going that path.
And let's not even talk about the balls. God, you know how bad it feels when they just tighten up so.
Stop.
What?
We're less than 5 minutes into the show. We don't need to talk about that.
What, ball talk?
Oh God, this is not ball talk on the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast.
All right, I'm sorry, all you people who came here to talk about football, soccer, rugby.
I'm jealous.
Tennis.
It's 54 degrees with a chance of rain in Arizona, no snow. That sounds perfect. I want to be there.
Rain.
I bring that up because My Fave Tech in the chat room had brought that up, and now I'm incredibly jealous. Of course, the trade-off is come summertime, we're not very often in the triple digits, and I assume that they do see the triple digits a fair amount of time.
He'll be cooking in hell. Phoenix is the second hottest place I've been on the planet.
You can fry an egg on the concrete.
But at least, like when you're where we are, Chris, that humidity comes in.
Yes, as someone who went to high school in the Deep South in Montgomery, Alabama, I'm quite familiar with the humidity of the South. It gets
quite swampy.
Yes, and then you just keep sweating, and it's just like rivers of water running off you because nothing's evaporating because it's so humid.
Gotta watch out for that mud butt.
That's when in high school you'd get done with 2-a-day football and you would literally have to wring out your t-shirt that you were wearing under your pads because of all of it. It was gross.
I can't sweat no more.
I lost 8 pounds of water weight in 1 2-a-day practice. It was great.
Jeez.
Ooh. I mean,
Unhealthy.
But they made you do it down there because of how dangerous the humidity infects were. It was before practice you had to weigh in, and after practice you had to weigh in, so that during 2-a-days they could make sure no one was going to have a heat stroke out on the field, basically, because they're so dehydrated.
I mean, how are you so dehydrated? You go out and you're just swimming through the air because of how humid it is.
Drink the air. That'll solve all of your problems.
Ooh, that's tasty. It's fresh from the source. Air. Fish do. Just breathing. That's how they drink, right?
I don't know. I'm not a biologist.
A marine biologist.
I had to take biology courses in college, but I remember none of them. In fact, I skipped the one day of class that was pertinent to my degree because I wanted to go bowling with my friends. So I went bowling instead of going to class. And the one day of class for the entire semester that was pertinent to me, I missed.
Did you at least get a turkey?
Yep, I believe so. Hey, but Naki's doing biology class homework right now, so maybe Naki can answer your questions about fish.
Oh.
All right. Do fish breathe by just, or drink by just breathing?
I don't know, but evidently it's anatomy and physiology homework, so you can do that for her. You're very familiar with anatomy, right?
Ooh, I promise. I'll do it.
I would never let Willie do my homework.
Willie's going to label Everett. No, I can't say that because I just got mad at Willie.
I promise that I will fill in every question. There will be not a question unanswered. I have full knowledge.
Willie, you can't write taint for everything.
Oh, you can.
Taint the brain, taint the eyes. He'll just keep doing that.
It taint wrong writing down taint for everything.
Or he says you can't write sphincter for everything. Although that is a fun word to say.
Once again, language is a paint. That's why I always go to the gooch. Like, oh, you can't use taint. Fine, I use gooch. Fuck you.
Thank you for that one. That's going to be this week's episode title. Language is a paint.
There we go.
Until we get something any better. Someone will think we're deep and metaphorical, and then 3 minutes into the show, they'll hear Willie talking about his balls. And they'll promptly turn the podcast off.
And then they'll know exactly what the show is about.
Well, I wasn't like talking about my balls. I was like, in a sex, we're just saying like they, if you answer.
Stop. This
is the bit from Seinfeld where the water was cold, Jerry.
Oh, I know. But we don't need to crib from Seinfeld.
Why not? They curbed it from someone else. No, they did. Oh, I mean, kind of Larry David's real life. There is a real life Kramer who is named is actually Kramer. He just took it. Wow.
I just need to watch Curb Your Enthusiasm now because I bought like everything when it was on sale for $15, the entire run of Curb Your Enthusiasm up to this season. So now I need to watch it.
15 seasons? Like this show was on forever, right?
It was a pricing mistake on iTunes, I think.
Oh, and also last time I checked, just in case even one, the actual Kramer does Seinfeld tours in New York, from what I've seen.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's weird that it's actually based on somebody, and he does kind of act like that.
What does he give a tour of? Like, here's the soup shop, here's the cafe, here's the apartment.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I've only been to like New York once. I drove up to the Bronx at like 3 a.m. for White Castle, or it might have been like 12 a.m. I don't remember. But it was like, that's about it. That's time. Oh, wait. There was that time I did drive through Manhattan Island.
No soup for Willie, and that's problematic because this is ideal soup weather right now.
It is soup weather.
Oh, what kind of soup?
Well, last night I had a Italian sausage, carrot, and kale soup that was really good with couscous in it. It was quite delicious that I made. Kale in a soup is delicious, by the way, for those that are playing around with learning new recipes and stuff like that. I wasn't sure about it, but kale in soup, pretty tasty.
For flavor or texture?
Yes.
All right. I thought that might have been the answer.
But when you cook it down, it becomes much less, takes up less volume, for lack of a better term. So you can kind of go a little overboard with the kale. And as it cooks down, it kind of becomes not congealed, but just kind of shrinks down into smaller pieces because it's not all fluffed out anymore. It's really good though. And kale's good for you.
As kale do.
Yeah, kale's good for you.
It?
Yeah.
Just because it's green. You know what else is green?
Mountain
Dew. It must
Dew.
be good for you too.
Well, that's more of a yellow. The can is green, but the soda itself is yellow.
Irradiated piss Hulk yellow.
Slightly green.
No, it's yellow.
It's a yellow green. I put yellow first.
Yellow.
It's a yellow green.
Yellow.
I'm sorry.
Willie, Willie, hold on.
I know
hold on.
you went to school. No. You hold on. I actually went some college for graphic design, color theory, and shit. Tell me how you know more than me about it.
Hey, Willie, what's the most well-known knockoff of Mountain Dew called?
Are you talking about the mountain? Well, I mean, it's local. I mean, my place, like with Mountain Roar.
No, it's called Mellow Yellow.
I mean,
The other alternative that was sold for many times that was literally put on the shelves next to Mountain Dew because it was the Mountain Dew substitute was Mellow Yellow. Why was it called Mellow Yellow?
Mellow Yellow.
Because it's yellow.
Because it's yellow.
Because yes, that product's yellow, but we're not talking about Mellow Yellow. We're talking about the dew from the mountains, baby.
And it was a ripoff of Mountain Dew made to look and taste like Mountain Dew, and they called it Mellow Yellow. So what does that tell you?
It tastes like it, and it's not yellow green.
Yes, it does.
No, it doesn't. It's completely. Then how come I'm not sitting here drinking Mellow Yellow than Mountain Dew? Because it's a different
lost
flavor. It's a different fucking flavor. I have drunken. I have ingested Mellow Yellow. I'm the most mellow motherfucker you will ever goddamn see on this podcast. God damn it.
Yes, very, very mellow right now. Because we dared to disparage the precious Mountain Dew.
Because that's not Mellow Yellow, that's Mountain Dew, god damn it. Sorry.
Sure.
Are we done with yellow soda talk?
I hope not.
Almost. I want to win, so I've got something queued up so that I can win.
All right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
Right here from the Google search using their AI tool. Some Mountain Dews are yellow, some are red, some are blue. Notice what color it doesn't say.
Wait, first question asked, is Mountain Dew yellow or green?
Yellow dye 5 is one of the most commonly used food additives. The chemical name of yellow dye 5 is what is tartazine. Tartazine is what gives Mountain Dew its yellow color. I rest my case. I rest my case with my victory.
How can I do this without...
He rests his case right on your forehead.
No. Don't take it there. I just want to win. I won.
Also, we're going back to ball talk? Thank you, Bachman.
Look what you did.
Bachman,
you gave him an out.
Ball talk.
You gave him an out. I did not want him to have an out. And now I'm very
story
upset.
That everyone probably already knows, the horses in Red Dead Redemption 2's balls actually shrink in the colder weather. Ball talk. That's a fact, Jack.
I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry.
You could thank Bachman here.
You know why? You know what the game's called? I win.
No, I win.
Live from the ATGN studios on the internet, it's the news of the week.
Welcome to the news of the week. It is that part of the show where we run down what is in our minds some most interesting, geeky, and or nerdy news to have popped up here in the past week or so, and share it with you fine folks who are watching live or watching/listening at a later date. I will take mine first because it could take a bit of time, and we'll know how to compensate as needed from how much time I take. Wow, I completely botched that transition. Sorry, everyone. Wow.
All really this sound like a winner up there, don't you?
You got it, dude.
Well, I won the argument. I just got distracted with all of the attempts to transition away from my victory.
Even when you win, do you really feel like you won against me?
Yeah, because it makes you sad that I won.
Dirty?
No, I don't feel dirty. Any victory is a good victory when I get a victory over you because it upsets you when I win.
You see, Bachman, he only thinks he won because in my head, I won.
Yes, because Mountain Dew's so green.
reality is whatever I make it.
Thanks, Neo.
Oh, is that what he's the one that said it? God damn, I knew I took it from somewhere. I didn't know it was
No,
Neo.
he's not the one that said it. I was just.
But he
making
is
a
the
reference.
one. Wait,
Yes.
no, the Oracle said he wasn't the one, but he really was the
But
one.
he is the
what
one.
the fuck was the point of that then? Of
She
saying he's not
she
the
told
one?
him he wasn't the one because that's what he needed to hear at that point in time.
No, she didn't tell him he wasn't the one. She told him that knowing the path and walking the path were two different things. He then implied and took it on himself to say, so I'm not the one. And she went, eh. She didn't actually tell him shit.
Time, I would be so pissed if I was Neo at that point in time, because I would have been like, listen, I didn't even know there was a fucking path till I was dragged, ripped out, and then said, hey, you're the one. And I was like, what's the one? I guess I got to go down the path of the one. And now you're telling me you can't go down it if you know it. And I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'd be so pissed at the Oracle. Like, just give me a straight goddamn answer in this computer fucking world.
Yeah, but did he end up being the one and doing what he needed to do? Yes. So everything she said worked perfectly.
But was it fun?
The first movie? Fuck yeah.
For us, yeah. For us.
Yeah.
Watch it. Yeah, it was definitely fun. Sorry, Chris.
Not for Neo. His life kind of sucked.
A little bit. So let's get into my news story here about things that don't suck. I don't know if you guys were aware, but Microsoft did their Developer Direct 2024 conference earlier this week, where we got some release dates and some background and some trailers and teasers for some upcoming games, one of which I'm quite excited about. Others, I am not quite as excited, but I know other people are, but I'll probably give them a try because, hey, it's Xbox. Everything comes to Game Pass for the most part.
You're not paying extra for it. Why not try it?
That's right. I'm going to save the one I'm most excited for last to talk about, because we'll go a little bit more in depth on that. But let's go through what we did learn from Xbox Developer Direct 2024. Susuna's Saga Hellblade 2 finally got a release date. It was one of the first games announced with the Series X over 4 years ago. Holy crap, it's been 4 years since we had the Series X and PS5 reveals. The game will be releasing May 21st, 2024. They released a new trailer for the game, and it looks pretty gorgeous. I'm excited to play it. Complex motion capture, brutal combat, new enhanced audio design. Looks like something fun to play. It's part of my Game Pass subscription, so I'm going to give it a try.
I like brutal combat.
I do too. What, Willie?
It was just, I mean, when you say it out loud like that, I like brutal combat. It just
Who else here was a martial arts instructor? I like brutal combat.
I think as an instructor, I think brutal should not be in your instruction pamphlet. Just saying.
I teach how I teach.
You know what? That's fair. I don't give a fuck about your students. It ain't my arm getting broken.
As far as I know, they're all still alive. I'm good.
As far as you know.
As far as he knows.
I know.
Next up, we got some more information on Avowed by Obsidian, including a release window, not a release date, but we know roughly when it'll be coming out. For those that are unaware, Avowed is an RPG from Obsidian Entertainment that takes place in the same universe as the Pillars of Eternity franchise. Obsidian shared some more info on combat, sharing off battles with weapons with like the one-handed wand, dual-wield pistols, swords, and an ability called Tanglefoot that stops enemies in their tracks. As you expect in an RPG from the developer of Fallout New Vegas and the Outer Worlds, it's going to include large dialogue trees. So basically, you're going to want to replay multiple times to get all the different potential paths and story points that could go through. We don't have an official release date, but the release window is fall 2024. Now,
I like playing a little Tanglefoot.
You like to trap your enemies in their tracks with magic?
Yes.
Yes.
Very interesting. Avowed looked pretty cool on all the trailers and stuff I've seen of it so far. Again, it's by Obsidian, so I'll give it a try. I like the Outer Worlds. I thought that was a lot of fun. Their most recent games they've made. And that's out on multiple consoles.
Wait,
I believe.
Is the Outer World their last game they made?
I think so. It's their most recent.
Shit, did it come out like 6 years ago?
That's like 2 or 3, I think.
Oh, it was it was pre-pandemic. Don't tell me that. Definitely pre-pandemic.
I'm trying to find
games,
the release date.
Games take a while. Good games take a long while. So
it was October 2019 was the Outer Worlds.
I don't know why I did that.
I don't know why you did that
It
either.
felt good though, and the sound of it.
It was released for
Fun.
PS4, Windows, and Xbox One, and a Nintendo Switch version was released in June 2020.
Wait, there's a Switch version
Yes, there is a Switch version
of
of
Outer
The Outer Worlds.
Worlds?
Yes,
How did that run?
probably slowly.
Holy
Mhm.
shit!
I mean, there's a Switch version of a lot of stuff. They made the Hogwarts game for the Switch, which I wouldn't think would work,
No.
seeing as it was supposed to be PS4, PS5. It was PS4, PS5, and then they delayed the PS4, Xbox One versions for a long time before it came out. So I'm sure there was a lot of technical sacrifice made to make it work on the older consoles.
Does Nintendo still do that streaming thing they do? Like with
For
the
some games,
scroll?
I'm not sure if this was a streaming game or not for them. I don't think it was. I think it was a straight up port. Indeed.
What do you
Indeed.
got next?
So this one surprised me. Square Enix made a surprise appearance at the Developer Direct with an update on Visions of Mana. They got a look at the upcoming RPG's real-time action combat, monster design, rideable mounts in the overworld. This is interesting because it's the first Mana game, or the first from the Mana series to release on Xbox. It will also be coming to PC and PlayStation this summer.
Wait, they didn't make any of those remakes for the Xbox?
I don't believe so. So Visions of Mana will be coming to Xbox, PC, and PlayStation this summer, which is pretty cool.
I think the last one I played was Secrets of Mana.
Yeah, like
Yeah, there's so many of the Mana games, but I can't remember. Yeah, I think Secrets is the last one I played, but I'm not positive. It was a fun game though. I remember that.
yeah, I thought it was weird that it was never been on Xbox. Even those remakes that came out not too long ago, like what? Why didn't you just put them on there? Do you not like extra money? Like what? What is there a deal in place? Probably
There could be a deal in
Gotta
place.
be.
I don't know. That's one of the things we learned in all of the court cases about the Bethesda stuff and things like that. Is there's a lot of deals that we never know the deals are in place to maintain exclusivity. Two more things to talk about. Next up, Ara: A History of the Untold was showcased. It's a strategy game from Oxide Games. It's a team that's made up of many ex-developers of the Civilization series.
Oh,
So the studio gave us a lot of new information, including the fact that you no longer have to wait for your opponents to take their turn to keep playing. Ara: History Untold is coming to PC and PC Game Pass this fall. So it will not be coming to consoles, but just to the PC side of the house, which sort of makes sense if you're making a Civilization style game.
yeah, I'm terrible at those games anyway.
Yeah, I
I'm
am too,
so
but I
bad.
enjoy them. I'm just not very good at them. And then finally, the one that I was most excited about, we got our first look at Machine Games' upcoming Indiana Jones game. The title was officially released. It is entitled Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. It's going to take place mostly from a first-person perspective with an Indiana Jones that is certainly modeled after Harrison Ford, is not voice acted by Harrison Ford, which we'll get into in a little bit, but nobody should really be surprised by that.
I remember watching the trailer. I was like, "Is that Harrison Ford?" And they just like altered his voice to make him sound like younger. I was like, because I saw
It
the
is
trailer,
not.
I was like, "Is I know now." But I was like, "Huh."
They gave us a look at puzzle solving to open what looks like an ancient temple, combat with Indy's iconic whip, and third-person rope swinging action. They have been all over the social media showcasing different elements of what you can do in the game to ask what kind of Indy are you? Are you the punching Indy? Are you the shooting Indy? Are you the antisocial one? He's like hanging from the ceiling on his whip where people can't see him as he sneaks around. The best answer to that has always been I'm the Nazi punching Indy, as they showcase him punching bad guys.
Yeah, there's only one question: can I punch Nazis?
I mean, if they're in the game. Machine Games did reveal the game will shift between third person and first person perspective for environmental traversal and for cutscenes. The trailer gives a really better look at how that works. I was pretty impressed with it. This is a game we first learned about in 2021, so it's kind of fun to get to see something about it now. And remember, Indiana Jones games, it's been a while since we've had one come out. When was the last Indiana Jones game? Was that on the original Xbox? The Emperor's Tomb, I think it was, or something like that? Which is a fun game, but hasn't aged very well.
I think the last indie game would have been Lego Indiana Jones on the Xbox 360.
Okay, fair. If we're concerned with Lego games.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
I loved that one. Yeah, my 360 came with Lego Indiana Jones and Kung Fu Panda, I think, was the dual disc.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I remember that one very much because I played the hell out of Lego Indiana Jones. It was fun as hell.
So Kotaku has more of a deep dive on Indiana Jones and the Great Circle that I wanted to reference and talk a little bit more about, because out of all those games that were announced, Indy's the one I've been most excited for, because really enjoy the previous Indiana Jones game on the Xbox that came out that I'm forgetting the name of, that I actually rebought to play via backwards compatibility mode. And while it's not as good as I remember, because things have changed, gameplay design has changed a bit, it's still pretty damn fun. Let's talk about The Great Circle. It's a brand new adventure in the franchise, not based on any previous films, comic book, or video game. The Great Circle will start with Indy getting involved in a strange mystery after an artifact is stolen from the Marshall College Museum. He'll head to the Vatican to investigate and eventually discovers another puzzle, this being the Great Circle. Well, what's that? Well, according to the debut trailer for the game, if you draw a line through some of the oldest and most sacred temples and locations on the globe, you get a perfect circle. We don't know what that means, but we do know that Indy's going to find out, and he's going to punch Nazis along the way. You'll get to go to places such as the Pyramids of Egypt, Vatican City, the temples of, I'm going to have a hard time saying this, Sukhothai, and much more. Along the way, he'll meet up with an investigative journalist who's also searching for more information on some of these artifacts.
I don't know. After 3.5 Uncharted games, I have to wonder, is he going to Nathan Drake it and destroy every temple he visits?
Nathan Drake doesn't destroy the temples. That's the bad guys who are trying to get to him.
Has Nathan Drake ever left an undiscovered city that he discovers and it's still standing?
Do the ancient civilizations set them up to be self-destructing?
And does he always go in and push the red button? Yes, he does.
I mean, it's a big red button, man. You gotta know what the big red button does, even though you know what all the previous red buttons do. You gotta press the big, new, red, shiny button.
Occasionally, Indy puts stuff in museums. Nathan Drake just blows shit up.
It belongs in a museum.
Well, he sells it. He's for profit.
That's true.
So who's actually making this game? I kind of touched on it to begin with. We've heard Xbox and Bethesda a lot. It's actually Machine Games. If you are wondering why that studio's name sounds familiar, they have done a lot of the modern Wolfenstein games. This includes The New Order, Old Blood, and New Colossus. They're all first-person shooters set in an alternate universe where the Nazis won. So, they kind of handed off the Indiana Jones title to a studio that's all about killing and punching Nazis, which is something that Indiana Jones does. So it should be a pretty good fit here, as we assume Indy will kill and punch Nazis.
That's fitting and good.
It's just delightful. No release date at this point in time. Summer 2024 or later is what they guess on the Kotaku article. Who knows?
Summer this year?
That's what their guess is.
Oh, okay.
At the moment, their Xbox and Bethesda have promised a 2024 release date, just not when during 2024. So their guess is summer. Who knows? Things slide. I wouldn't be shocked if it ended up being a fall 2024. But the problem they're going to run into then is I don't think they want to do a bunch of their releases at the same time, because I believe Avowed was supposed to be fall 2024. So I don't think they want to drop Avowed and Indie like right on top of each other.
I mean, the only time
it's going to be a crowded fall because Space Marine 2's been moved to September. And I was checking because the only game I'm actually super excited for is still Black Myth Wukong. And that's pushed to August 20th, 2024. So it's going to be a really good fall season for video games this year.
Yeah. Shoot, what was I going to say? Oh, well, it's not what I was going to say, but yeah. So remember, punching Nazis good. So if you know of any neo-Nazis in your area, just go knock them out. Who's going to be angry at you? The other neo-Nazis?
Only the moms of the Nazis, and they failed as parents, so who cares?
You're not wrong. Let's get back on topic to the game about punching Nazis and not punching Nazis in real life, because we don't want people to go to jail at this point in time. What platforms is it going to be released on? Well, it's an Xbox exclusive, so it should surprise no one. It's coming out on Xbox for PC and Xbox Game Pass. It will also be available on PC for sale on Steam.
Well, so basically, yeah.
Is it console exclusive or is it exclusive to Xbox?
It's console exclusive.
Okay. Wordy.
Remember, Microsoft treats PC and Xbox as kind of the same thing.
But they're not.
For Microsoft's purposes, where they're trying to sell Game Pass, they are.
Well, Microsoft's pretty fucking stupid in my idea. They hired Todd Howard. What do I know? You know what I mean?
Fair enough. We don't know how much it's going to cost. The guess is somewhere between 60 to 70 bucks. We do know that Harrison Ford's likeness is in it, but he is not the voice actor for Indiana Jones. Does anyone care to make a guess as to who is voice acting Dr. Jones?
Well, just like Neo, I know the path, so it's different than walking it.
Then I will let Bachman guess since you know. Who do you think they brought in to voice one Dr. Jones?
Oh, there's a lot of really talented voice actors out there.
Can I give him a hint?
You can give him a hint.
Is it the guy that does SpongeBob?
No, it's Nathan's brother.
I don't know who did the brother.
He did a voice. He voiced the Joker at one point in time in a video.
Mark
game.
Hamill?
No, it is not Mark
Yes,
Hamill.
sure. Why not? If that's what you want to answer, sure.
Wouldn't that be hilarious, though?
Mark Hamill is an older gentleman now. He could do a gravelly Dr. Jones voice. The motherfucker's talented. You know he could do it.
But the Ark is mine, Harley. The bats can have it.
Who's the voice?
The voice is Troy Baker. You know, the voice actor that I like to use for almost everything because he's incredibly talented. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. So Troy Baker will be playing the role of Dr. Indiana Jones, or excuse me, Dr. Henry Jones.
Pascal.
I was gonna say, yeah, Troy Baker is Last of Us daddy, right?
Yes.
I was like, I thought I remembered that name from something big lately, but I wasn't sure.
One of the things they showcased a lot in the trailer, which I encourage you guys to go and watch, is a lot of different mechanics of using the whip. You'll be able to use it as a weapon. You'll be able to use it as a distraction. You'll be able to use it to traverse the environment. Some of the stuff they've been using it for is to literally hang from a ceiling for stealth sections of the game. It seems like the whip will be heavily involved in this game. Machine Games has said it's primarily a first-person adventure game with some shooting and melee combat, but during certain moments of the game, the camera will pull back to show Indy climbing or swimming, and the cutscenes will use third person. So predominantly a first-person view, but with some third-person elements in this game.
So it's a first-person Uncharted.
Yeah, pretty much.
Tomb Raider.
Yeah,
well, more Uncharted though.
So the question, if we want to get into lore, where does this fit into the Indiana Jones timeline? We did find out the Great Circle is set in 1937, which places it in between the first film, Raiders, and the third film of the franchise, The Last Crusade. So it's somewhere in the original trilogy before the first, after the first and before the last, when this takes place.
Wait,
before we meet
a prequel?
I'm sorry, what?
Was Temple of Doom a prequel to the first one?
Yeah,
I think so.
Chronologically, it goes Temple of Doom, Raiders, and then Last Crusade, I believe.
Okay.
Well, so they have the article here has the timeline. The timeline is Adventures of Young Indiana Jones, Temple of Doom, Raiders of the Lost Ark, The Great Circle, The Last Crusade, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and Dial of Destiny is seemingly the timeline for the Indiana Jones movies / games.
It's weird.
Where does the Infernal Machine take place?
I don't think it's considered canon anymore, much like Emperor's Tomb is considered canon.
From the N64 days?
Neither is the original Xbox one.
What about the old LucasArts from the 90s ones? Those don't count either.
Willie, were any of those in the timeline that I just read?
I know, but I'm just surprised that they're not. That's all.
I just don't know why Chris stopped talking in between Last Crusade and the Dial of Destiny.
We're still doing that? We're still doing that bit?
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. I'll let you have it.
They do a sequel game. They got to bring in the dad, though. We named the dog Indiana. Junior. I just love hearing. Sean Connery yell
bring
Junior.
In Mark Hamill.
There you go.
His voice.
He can play the dad.
It'll work.
Why don't they just? If you want to bring Mark Hamill in, why don't you just bring him in to be an original character?
Oh, like a Kingsman.
Sure.
Like in the original comic,
yes,
they were kidnapping Mark Hamill, but in the movie, they kidnapped Professor, who was played by Mark Hamill. I love that little bit.
I love that movie. But that was my news. We're getting some information on some of these Xbox exclusives that are coming out. By far, the most interesting one to me is Indiana Jones, and probably second up would be Avowed, just because it sounds like it could be a fun, interesting, long RPG, which my backlog's huge enough, so why do I want to play a long RPG? But
RPG
role-playing game.
I don't think this is going to be an RPG, technically.
There's role-playing elements.
Action adventure.
Yes, where you're building skill trees and the like and making story decisions.
Oh my God. All right, there's got to be a fine line.
That's an RPG, is it not?
You also do that in Madden with your stats as a player. Is that an RPG?
Do you?
Or is it a sports simulator?
Do you?
No, I don't. It is not an RPG. You also level up your character in the Yakuza series. Guess what? It's not, well, the Like a Dragon is an RPG.
What?
That's a turn-based RPG. But the other ones are beat-em-ups. Even though you do level up your character, it's still a beat-em-up. It's not. I wouldn't
Give Willie long enough.
Willie, let me go back to the article from IGN. Avowed is the upcoming RPG from Obsidian Entertainment.
Okay, you want to take IGN. You want to be right with IGN? You can have it. Too much water. The company that says too much water in a Pokemon game. You're right.
Fine, Willie. I'll go and bring up all of the information about Avowed and see how many places where it says RPG. The About section on the Google search result for it says Avowed is an upcoming action role-playing video game developed by Obsidian Entertainment.
Chris, I want to say I'm sorry. I'm doing this for the bit, not to piss you off. And it seems like it's pissing you off. I'm sorry. I meant to do it for the bit, not to actually piss you off.
I just want to be right, damn it.
Oh, that's what we're doing. No, you can be right with IGN all you want. I don't care. Agree with them.
There you go. Also, the headline from PC Gamer: everything we know about Obsidian's next big RPG. What games does Obsidian make? Let's look at their back history. RPGs. I rest my case, Your Honor. I rest my case.
Now, I would say
I rested my case.
Yeah, but I didn't. So
you have rested
so I'm
your
glad
case.
You're done with this. I'm not. So you can shut up since you're done with it. I'm just kidding with that. I'll be done with it too.
I don't know where rested my case. How
I'm
rule
just
you,
saying,
Judge Bachman?
fine.
How rule you?
Ooh, yeah.
It's an RPG.
Yeah! Suck it!
Yeah, so let's listen to I'm pretty
Here's the
sure
middle
I played more
finger
games than both of you combined.
Suck it, Trebek.
Yeah. So
Fuck it,
I'm pretty sure I played more games than both of you fuckers combined. So I want to hear this shit.
So, how does that make you more right or more wrong? Your experience playing video games doesn't change facts.
And I'm also pretty sure, like, when I was 12 and playing original Nintendo and you were still like 4 years old or whatever, I got in a lot of game time ahead of you. I'm not sure you've caught up yet.
Oh, sorry. I was talking to Naki, not you, who left the message. Oh, no, you, not you. You.
My life is a video game.
What does that mean?
I treat my life like an RPG as I grind and rack up skill points to do things.
There you go. Chris is just building up a skill tree.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm over here treating my life like an amusement park.
As Naki puts it, hopefully you're not an NPC. Yes, I'm an NPC in my own video game that is life.
Nobody wants to be an NPC.
Nobody wants that. Wasn't that
a Free Guy?
Wasn't that? Yeah, I was gonna say it's a Ryan Reynolds movie. That's Free Guy.
Yep, that's Free Guy. You find out you're the NPC in everybody else's game.
That's what I had for my news of the week, though, with some distractions. I'm going to toss things to you, Bachman. What do you got for yours?
A little bit of good movie news. We're getting one of the dynamic duos back together again. From a Hollywood Reporter article by Boris Kitt on January 18th, Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan teaming for secret genre movie exclusive. So there's not much has actually been revealed yet, but let's see. Secrecy is so tight on the project to be produced by Coogler's Proximity Media that executives had to trek to offices of WME just to read the script. So like people are not like they're keeping this thing like tightly under wraps and locked down. Let's see. A reunion between filmmaker Ryan Coogler and actor Michael B. Jordan for a feature film project has studio and streaming execs buzzing. The untitled project is to be the next movie from Coogler, the filmmaker behind Black Panther and Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Coogler wrote the script and will direct. Jordan, who has frequently worked with the filmmaker, including in the Panther movies, as well as Creed and Fruitvale Station, will star. This is the first spec script from Coogler through his production company, Proximity Media. His only other spec was his 2013 breakthrough film, Fruitville Station, which, if I remember correctly, was also the first time him and Michael B. Jordan worked together, which it's an amazing movie. It's really sad because it's based on a true life event. But if you haven't seen it, you should. It's an amazing film. This new one is fully internally developed project based on an original idea from Coogler, who will serve as the lead producer. Producing with Coogler are Zinzi Coogler and Sev Ohanian. So I'm guessing one of Coogler's family members. It says the project is operating under a veil of secrecy that little is known about. In fact, his ex, I had to go to the office to read the script. Meetings for that took place last week. Coogler and team are being methodical. The second step is occurring this week with interested parties meeting with the filmmaker to hear him lay out his vision. A production commitment will be asked. So they're basically looking for, like what streaming service or what, production company is going to help back this. But I mean, yeah, the two together have an amazing track record. It says Coogler is one of the most sought after filmmakers of his generation. He reinvented the Rocky franchise with 2015's Creed, which of course also starred Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, an amazing film. And I've tried to think. I don't think there's a better spin-off in the history of film where you've gotten a character from a franchise, a long-standing franchise, and another basically franchise has been born out of it that's done as well monetarily and critically. Because I mean, we've had all sorts of spin-offs, but like the 3 Creed films coming off of the Rocky franchise is just. I don't know if anybody else has done as well.
Hey, sorry for the abruptness, but I have something going on. Cut me.
All right. Willie's going to go hang out in the driveway, I think.
He'll be back at some point, perhaps.
Let's see. So reinvented the Rocky franchise, Creed 2015, which spanned 3 films, while his Marvel Studios debut, his first Marvel movie was Black Panther, became a cultural touchstone, generating $1.34 billion globally, earned a Best Picture nomination. And Jordan, who's additionally rep by M88, both starred and directed Creed 3 and is due to tackle his 4th installment. So Jordan's working apparently on the 4th Creed movie, which the 3rd one, now you have that co-starred the problematic Jonathan Majors, but was still a really cool film. And it was, if you haven't seen it, it's kind of amazing to see. Michael B. Jordan is a huge anime fan, and he took a lot of inspiration from actual Japanese cartoon fight sequences for the boxing in the last fight scene in Creed 3. And so he does something that I've not seen in a boxing movie before, which by the time Creed 3 is coming out, that's kind of impressive because it's not easy to do something wholly original these days in a boxing movie. And so, yeah, for something where is Creed 3 the best boxing movie ever? No, of course not. It's the 3rd movie. But as a first-time director, it's one of the best first-time directing films I've seen from an actor stepping into the directing role and continuing a story and not dropping the ball. The story moves forward. The character development's still great. And yeah, the fighting sequences themselves are amazing. And yeah, now we're looking at getting Creed 4 and then Michael B. Jordan, Ryan Coogler working together again. I mean, yeah, Fruitville Station, Creed 1, freaking Black Panther. When those two guys work together, you get amazing films.
Yeah.
And yeah, the only thing they've released so far is, it's genre feature. So how did they put it? Yeah. A wide-ranging term that encompasses horror and its subsets, as well as thriller, science fiction, even fantasy. 2 sources have said there is a period element to the story. Coogler's camp had no comment. I don't honestly get the concept of the term genre because everything is a genre film. Drama is genre, but it's the only thing not considered genre. Whatever. But yeah, so it could be sci-fi, it might be fantasy, it might be period, it might be horror. Who knows? But we know an amazing director and a fantastically talented actor getting back together, and they like working together, and they do great work. So we got a damn good movie coming down the pipeline at some point that's going to have those two guys attached to it again. So I'm super excited because, I love everything that those two have done together. Like I said, Fruitville Station, it's a hard watch because it's a real story of a kid that died on the the BART system, the mass transit in Frisco. But it's an amazing film. Like, it's a great film to see at least once. It's not a fun one you're going to go watch, every weekend like I watch Cabin in the Woods. But it is an amazing film, and it's worth at least one watch for sure. But then, Black Panther, you can watch that every Tuesday. That movie kicks ass.
It does. You're not wrong.
And neither was Killmonger.
Yeah.
That's what I had.
Question from the chat room. Naki's asking, did you get to watch Lord of Misrule?
I have not. I have it in my Amazon queue, but I have not had time to watch it yet. Oh, there's so many movies in the world. So many streaming services. Yeah. What was it we did? We watched something this week, and now I can't even remember what it was. Oh, we've been trying to catch up on Wheel of Time because, I actually canceled my Amazon Prime, so we're about to lose access to that, and Wheel of Time is everything the Lord of the Rings show should have been. So we've been really enjoying. We started watching season 2. Oh, because I've been watching Reacher. That's right. Yeah, I haven't had time for any movies because I had to catch up on the 8 episodes of Reacher, and Reacher season 2 is just fucking fantastic. Yeah, and like I said, I really wanted to like the Lord of the Rings show. I think a lot of people did. I think. The $42 billion or whatever Amazon spent to get the rights and make the show, they assumed tons and tons of people wanted to like that show. And I think tons of people did. And somehow, which I still don't understand, they gave us the most boring fantasy story ever. Like, the one elf guy was badass, and the rest of the show I couldn't care about.
It's Lord of the Rings. The source material is boring fantasy. Ho 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 ho! Shots fired. Chris hates Lord of the Rings. Beep beep beep.
I don't hate it, but I mean, I'm kind of in the Kevin Smith camp. Like, even the fucking trees walk in those films. Like, they're just 9 hours of walking. But there you go. Chris is picking a fight with Naki.
Look, we've always known the weakness in Chris's nerd game is generally when it comes to the fantasy genre, where I'm just like, nope. It doesn't work for me. It doesn't click.
Lord of the Rings, it's kind of a tent pole, but it's also old as shit. And it involves a bunch of walking and a deus ex machina that ends the story, which that's not good writing. Where I've got my, 8 books of the Dark Tower series tattooed on my fucking arms here. I'll take Stephen King's fantasy over fucking Tolkien's any day. Roland Deschain is a hell of a lot cooler than fucking hobbits. The man has a gun made out of Excalibur. You can't fuck with that. That's right, Naki. A2 Bachman. And and now reading the Wheel of Time series, I got the first book because I can't wait to read that. That series, that book is awesome. And that first season of the show, fucking fantastic. Everything I thought the Lord of the Rings show was going to be, and I think everything Amazon thought the Lord of the Rings show was going to be, is the Wheel of Time show. The Wheel of Time show is fucking great. And we're like 3 episodes into the second season, but we're about to turn off Amazon Prime, so I'll have to catch up on it when this season's completely done.
At some point in time.
Yep. You turn off one streamer, you turn on another one, you just cycle through them.
Just rotate. Keep a list on your calendar of when it's time to cancel the next one. Easy peasy.
Yesterday my Apple TV Plus ended, and I think I've got, what's today, the 21st? I think tomorrow my Amazon Prime ends. So then we're going to be back to just Hulu and Netflix.
My Honor Club ran out too, which I'm kind of bummed about.
Honor Club?
Ring of Honor.
Oh, Ring of Honor. Okay.
I picked it up for a month when they had their last pay-per-view, which was just on the Honor Club, which was the main event, was Athena and Billy Starks. And I was like, okay, I want to watch the first Ring of Honor women's main event in a pay-per-view. And it was really good.
Oh, and I have to say now, what are the upsides of Netflix? Because that's the one that Jana pays for. I don't ever have to pay for Max again, because if I just wait long enough, they'll rent everything they own out to Netflix.
Right.
Because, the title Max don't mean shit.
Yeah.
And it's not worth paying for.
Well, we're talking about streamers. So that gives me a nice little segue into a news story here while we fill some time to see if Willie's going to make it back. She-Hulk season 2. Tatiana Maslany doesn't seem to think it's going to be happening. She seems to think they spent way too much money for the CGI in season 1. Then there's other rumblings from people that supposedly are in the know at Marvel Studios, like, it might happen still, but it doesn't seem likely. So it seems like She-Hulk season 1 is kind of a one and done thing.
Well, and I mean, I hate to say it, but also like She-Hulk's one of those books that's been canceled like 5 times. It doesn't have a huge audience. Like it's never been a bad character, but even when it was one of the best written characters in comics, it didn't have skyrocketing sales. Like even when Dan Slott turned it into like the funnest, strangest lawyer show ever written in comics, because like there's a point where she's like a head lawyer for an interdimensional like a Doctor Who crazy level of lawyering court systems going on, where she's out, fighting, court battles and crime and supervillains all throughout multiverses and shit. It just got strange, but it was super entertaining. And even then, like, I don't think She-Hulk ever cracked like the top 50 in book sales on like previews. I may be wrong about that. I'm sure it was never top 10, but I don't know if it ever even cracked the top 50. So like, it's not a character that has a massive fan base. I think it has a small hardcore fan base. There are some people out there that absolutely love She-Hulk. Whenever the book's out, Savage She-Hulk, Sensational She-Hulk, whoever it is, they're reading it. But it's not a huge group, and I think that's part of the problem.
So I think the important thing, though, is they establish the character in the MCU, meaning that as they've done with She-Hulk, oftentimes when her book gets canceled in real life, it means she can appear in other series. She can appear in a Hulk series. She could appear, like, I hope she appears at least once in Daredevil.
Yeah, you would hope so. And fun. I mean, some of the best.
She doesn't even have to be She-Hulk in it for all I care. I just want the appearance to happen because it'd be fun.
Yeah, she'd just be Jennifer Walters. But yeah, like some of the best She-Hulk stories have been in the Fantastic Four comics and in the Avengers. I mean, Avengers Disassembled, Jen's the one that did some of the disassembling. She literally ripped Vision in half. Like, that's what, like that image on that page is still like scarred in my brain, which, who is it? Finch, I think, drew it. Yeah, that Brian Michael Bendis, that is a fucked up book. Yeah, when he disassembled the Avengers, he actually disassembled some of them. Like Vision was torn to parts, and Jen's the one that did it. Yeah, some of the best stories for She-Hulk don't take place in the She-Hulk comic. So yeah, but now she's in the MCU. It's weird though, because we still can't get a Hulk movie because it's sticking like the licensing rights with, what is it, Paramount or Universal still owns
Universal.
The Hulk. Yeah, and so Marvel still can't do a freaking Hulk movie. It's like, okay, fine, give us a Hulk's movie. Tatiana Maslany shows up in the front scene, waves to us, and then you do a Hulk film with Mark Ruffalo. You just don't call it Hulk. Like, they gotta work around this shit, because I want to see more Mark Ruffalo. The Ruffalo is my favorite. Like, he's the best.
I mean, they set it up so that we're probably going to get more, so we should be good in that regard.
Yeah, for sure. And more Hulk is a good thing.
Can you see my screen when it's off?
You didn't turn off your camera. I just pulled you out of there, so I saw when you sat down back in the chair.
Oh, but I can't see your camera when you go off. I didn't know that was how it worked.
Yeah, I think it's because I have the admin control of the StreamYard that we use. Yeah, so I see everyone's cameras.
You saw me before I go. I was like, what am I hearing? Like, oh no. And I looked back, it was my dad backing in. I had my dryer went out, and he was bringing another one because he has a trailer and all that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so can't get it hooked up because I don't have the proper thing, or neither one of us are electricians, and we don't want to wire it wrong.
Yeah, wiring the pigtails for a dryer is simple, but you're better off letting an expert do it. Just so you don't burn your house down.
On the dryer, nothing was color coded. Like the wires are like, so which one's the ground?
Oh, yeah, you don't want to fuck up with the 220. Yeah, that will cause some damage.
Yeah, so it's just back there. Yeah, I wish he would have called me or something. Let me know he was coming today. I didn't know. That's why I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like that's why I gotta go deal with this.
No, it's not a problem, man. I'm just glad you were talking about how the weather's been crappy and things there. I was like, oh no, did someone wreck in Willie's front yard or something like that? That's what I was worried about.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like, did someone just crash through his mailbox or something?
No. Here's what I'm happy about, though. The dryer back there, though, I can actually start drying some things and it might warm it up back there.
It's
Because it's
true.
in the
but
back room with the workspace.
That's a really inefficient
nice.
way to heat your workspace, but that is true.
Well,
You
if
might
I'm
have a
already
nice
drying
side effect.
something anyway,
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
it's
So
just
we were
beneficial.
kind of killing a little bit of time so that we would give you an opportunity if you had a news story you wanted to share to speak with folks.
For your Xbox press, what was the first game? Because when you said it, I was blowing my nose and I didn't like the name, and you only said it once. So what was it again?
Let me go back to the article
Was it-
because I don't remember off the top of my head.
I think it was Power World.
No, it's as soon as Saga Hellblade 2.
That's right. Okay. Oh, that one. Okay. So yeah, I was going to talk a little bit about Power World, which I thought they did do a little something with the Xbox Direct. I thought so. At least
I might have missed it, or it
put out
just might
stuff.
not have been in the notes I put together.
It's not that big of a game. I've been looking at this game for a couple years now, since I saw the first trailer. I think it might have been 2020, might have been 2019. I can't remember when I saw the first trailer. Somewhere around that time frame. And the trailer looked pretty cool. Pokemon with guns, pretty much. And I mean, the Pokemon have guns. Like there's like a Snorlax yellow guy walking around with like a big old, and I'm talking about actual yellow, not Mountain Dew yellow. Anyway, they carry around a Gatling gun.
As Naki puts in the chat room, murder Pokemons.
Yes,
Murder Pokemon.
pretty much. But it's also from the gameplay I finally saw of it that just got released this week. It looks more like a survival game with the Pokemon that also do the fighting. I haven't seen any with the guns yet in the gameplay. I saw a little bit of, I forget this YouTuber's name. I just saw that he was playing Power World. I was like, oh, it's actually, there's a thing playable out. I don't remember his name. That's my bad. I didn't look it up. But I also saw Moist Critical play some. I'm like, this looks a bit better. Okay. I don't like the survival bit of it, where you're crafting and stuff. I just want to go around this world with a story. Pokemon with guns, murder mons. That's all I wanted. But now they put all this. I was like, okay. I mean, I can kind of get behind that, but I can't get behind it for one reason.
Why not?
It's Xbox console exclusive.
Oh, okay. Well, get an Xbox. Problem solved.
Yeah, I don't feel like it. Yeah, I just love how I think it even said it was coming. I'm not sure. I think the first trailer said it was coming to all things. I'm not sure. I'm still a pissed because I was champion. I was talking about this game.
Well, it's on PC
everybody.
still, right? Too.
You talk to a guy who's never ever had a good enough gaming PC to do
Willie,
it.
get a Steam Deck. You can get Steam Decks for cheap too.
I didn't win one from the Game Awards.
Yeah, I didn't either. I wanted to, but I almost bought one when I could get one. I almost bought a used one for $300, but decided not to because I don't have enough time to play games as it is.
Let me just pull out that money out of my pocket right here. Shit,
Willie.
no, it's just a Sheets card.
Willie,
That's all I got is a Sheets
you got to
card.
start dancing again. You'll be able to make that money fast.
I don't know. These legs don't move the way they used to.
WillieCam.com. It's not a camera for his Willie. It's a camera of Willie.
Some surprises may happen.
No.
No, it's just
I'm going to do the Macarena or something. You don't know.
he's gonna do like the John Travolta, like
that's the
weird
bat
shit
dance,
like that. Yeah, or the Batsui. That's what it is. Sorry, he's got Batsui.
A
Come on,
Batusi.
whatever. Get your mind out of the gutter. You
Look,
expected I meant Willie was gonna be
Chris has been
shaking his
fucking
ass?
up words all the podcast.
All I know is I don't trust Willie with the camera and the word surprise
And I'm
involved
sorry,
with anything.
no, Bachman. No, you don't get on Chris for saying something wrong when you said Fruitville Station earlier. It's Fruitvale Station. So don't you dare get on to Chris about that. Don't you dare.
I'm glad we've been holding grudges for 20 plus minutes here.
Well,
Oh, I noticed that. I was like, wait, is it Fruitville? Let me look this. I always thought it was Fruitvale. Let me look this up. I'm
Fruitvale,
just gonna keep
Fruitvale,
quiet about
whatever.
this.
Kid
I'm
gets
gonna
shot.
hold on to this one.
That's what I remember.
Think you get one over on Willie.
Always.
Willie got you.
Go play with your dryer.
I mean, that's probably
I
what he's
can't make
gonna
a
do.
sexual euphemism with that one. I'm sorry.
I mean, you could try.
There you go.
Won't you dry your balls, Bachman? You mud butt bitch.
What?
That's the winner. That's the winner. Why not?
And we're all losers.
Stepping
break
back
it?
a sec, Willie, you could easily play this game. Like I said, just get a cheap Xbox or a cheap gaming PC or a cheap Steam Deck, like the ROG Allies and stuff like that, they're constantly on sale at GameStop and Best Buy and stuff like that now, it seems like. And the prices are creeping down.
Oh, I 100% agree with you there, but my want to play this game is not enough to buy a whole extra ass console.
Okay, that's fair.
That's just where I mean, there might be something eventually. Like, I really would love to play Sunset Overdrive.
I guess the thing is, it potentially opens the doors to some other exclusives. If there were other exclusives on that platform that you were interested in, and arguably
from Todd Howard
for your use case, looking at the PC side of the house is probably better than looking at, say, an Xbox or something like that, because I think that would open more doors for you. That's all.
Is there anything exclusive to Xbox that's not on PC?
Probably, but I don't know off the top of my head. I don't know if all of the Xbox console games have come to PC. I think most have, but I'm not sure about all.
Are all the Xbox Gold, whatever the Game Pass, Game Pass, that's it. Yeah. Are all those available also on PC?
No, there's a separate. If you don't have Game Pass Ultimate, which has both of them, then there's a Game Pass for Xbox and a Game Pass for PC. And Game Pass for PC doesn't have
on each of them. I'm sorry. Okay, that was just my question. I thought there was a problem with it. I'm not saying as a negative for either side. Just curious, because I've never seen it, never been a part of it. Just curious.
So, just for curiosity's sake, let me pull up. There's the PC Game Pass library, I think, assuming it loads. That wasn't the library. Shit. This is just the splash screen for. Oh, there we go. Explore the catalog. They have all a bunch of PC games that are under the PC Game Pass banner. But Jesus Christ, some of this stuff interesting. Oh, some of it's using the Xbox app, but for instance, Assassin's Creed Valhalla is now under PC Game Pass also, which I had no idea. But Pal World, the preview of it right now, is on PC Game Pass.
Oh, the previews.
Yeah. Wait, so you can play the preview.
So Microsoft is having a Steam Greenlight type thing now?
It would appear that way.
Sure. I mean, I'm not against it. I'm just surprised. That's all. Like, didn't think that was going to happen. Never even thought it was a possibility. Never even thought about it. But yeah, that's cool.
A lot of those games, you give people a taste. They're much more likely to buy them.
Yeah, I was interested in this game, but I mean, I'm not that interested to buy a whole other ass console, especially for something that's kind of ripping off Nintendo.
So, Willie, here my cursor is specifically over this point. You don't necessarily have to buy a new system to do it. You could get PC Game Pass for, say, 2 months or something like that, and you could play it via the cloud on your laptop. Pair a controller with your laptop and play via the cloud.
Yeah, it means I have to go out and buy a mouse because I don't have a mouse.
No, you don't have to buy
I can use a little trackpad, play this game?
You didn't listen to me. Pair your controller. You can pair a controller via Bluetooth or connect via USB to your PC and then use that to be able to play if you wanted.
I know you could do it. I don't know how, but I know you can.
Yeah, so that was my point, was that you can use a controller to cloud play the game if you want as well.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on the PC specific Game Pass, it appears. 23 pages worth of content. I'm not going to scroll through all 23 pages of it.
I would tell you not to in the first place.
As V points out, Willie didn't listen to Chris. Imagine.
Shocker.
Who the fuck does Chris think he is? I'm gonna listen to whatever the fuck oh yeah, you're the host of the podcast.
Yeah, the host and the producer.
I'll start listening, man.
No. You don't have to start listening. It's just entertaining. It's like you started your rant, and I'm like, dude, I said it twice already.
And all he heard was, I don't have a mouse.
I just want to do the bit of the mouse. Like, I don't got a mouse either.
I don't know you. Let go of my purse.
What am I gonna do if I ain't got some mouse? I got a cat to get rid of the mice, and now they're all gone, and I ain't got one to play a game.
Hey, you can play Anthem on PC with PC Game Pass too.
Oh, sorry. This is the point of the show where I tell Chris to shut the fuck up.
You can't play Anthem.
You shut the fuck up too, Mr. Anthem.
I love
Mr. Anthem Bachman.
I wonder if they're still in their Christmas mode. I haven't logged into it for like 2 years at this point in time.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I logged in. I wonder if it's one of the ones. I wonder if I could fire it up on the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, it should be backwards compatible.
Yeah, there's only a handful of games that are not, cross-gen compatible.
Yeah. So Willie,
That's
thank you for sharing your news on the murder
How, bro?
Pokemon.
Looks cool.
I do
You have an
appreciate it. It
Xbox
does.
PC?
I'll check
Get
it out. Yeah. Well, I mean, it'll be on Xbox too, so I don't have to worry about it.
You can see it for me.
Murdermon.
I'll just
Yeah,
stream
pretty
it on
much.
Twitch and you can watch it if you want. I don't care.
And building of some things from what I've seen. I don't know what you build, but it looks fun and entertaining. And I've been championing it for so long, and just now this week finding out, oh yeah, you ain't gonna get to play it.
Real quick before we start shifting to the next segment, I didn't realize this game had come out, but if you like Metroidvanias, the Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown just came out. Supposedly pretty good if you like a Metroidvania. And evidently they have a new mechanic for being able to map things out versus, drawing your own map on paper like most Metroidvanias.
Wait,
to remember
is
where
this
something is.
specifically a 2D Metroidvania?
2.5D
What?
is what it's described as in this article.
So you only move left and right, up and
Yeah.
down. All right. Just want to make sure because Metroid Prime is a Metroidvania, I would say.
That's true. So I guess what they've done there is there's a solution in here for mapping issues. They have a point in the game where you can take screenshots and it pins that screenshot on your map for later viewing. So like you went into a room and say it had like an extended spike pit you couldn't jump over, you could screenshot in game and it would apply that picture to the map so that you could go back in your map and see that. However, this uses an ability called a memory shard, of which you have a finite amount in game. So you can't just put screenshots across your entire map, it sounds like. It's a Metroidvania, man. You can't have everything. You always got to do backtracking and try and remember where shit was. Yeah, go check it out for yourself. If you like Metroidvanias, I almost bought it because I had $10 of expiring Best Buy points money that I needed to use. And I just didn't buy it because I didn't have time to play their games.
Well, I have questions. Let's go back. So people have been playing Metroidvanias for years without these shards within, a finite amount in the game. Why do we need them? Like, what? Why are you making such a big? Not you.
Because in general, for these Metroidvanias, you get a basic map, and the map doesn't really show you what was there. This is a way so that instead of me taking out a notebook or a notepad app on my PC to be like, okay, this room here had the spike pit I couldn't jump to come back to, you can literally just memory shard it in the.
Have the fun.
Okay. Not everyone likes to play it that way. Some people find that grating.
Well, I mean, play cautiously. Don't just I'm just going to run and jump across this pit. Oh, I don't know what's on the other side.
It's a neat new game mechanic. I thought it was worthy of discussion at the very least.
Oh yeah, I'm not trying to take it. I'm just like at one point, I was like, okay, that's a little weird, but sure, have it.
I always think it's weird when they add a mechanic like that and then limit it. It's like
that's
the ability to put in
point that got me.
screenshots.
Well, it could also be a limit to how the map works. Is say someone puts 100 screenshots on that map, is your map still going to be openable from say a Switch versus an Xbox or a PlayStation or something like that? When you're doing,
I have a mental image.
There could be technical limitations as to why they don't let you make a bajillion screenshots and put it on the map.
But I want a bajillion screenshots.
Well, I mean, in theory,
if your own game, Bachman.
If you're playing on the Switch or actually any of the consoles now, they all let you take screenshots. So you could just screenshot via the native tools and have it that way.
I will make my own game. It's going to be called Ratchet and Anthem.
So it's Ratchet and Clank in the Anthem world?
Yeah. I'm going to put a Lombax. I'm going to put a Lombax in a javelin and give him a giant wrench.
Why don't we just make a good Iron Man video game and call it a day?
So you're going to kill off the Ratchet and Clank series by matching up with Anthem. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Willie.
Nothing can kill the Lombax.
He's very excited.
He's not even the last Lombax anymore.
No, now there can be more. He's got a girlfriend.
Do they actually get together or something? I don't know.
The new one's the only one I haven't played yet.
I haven't played it yet. I know there's another one.
Got it, and it started playing it. It's pretty fun.
But the Oracle said I was the one.
All those games are like in Insomnia. The Insomniac Studios just kicks ass. They're so good.
I mean, you're not wrong. You are not wrong. That said, it is time for us to start wrapping things up. As we wrap things up, we have a final segment, a little bit called What I'm Into. It's our chance to share with you fine folks watching live or listening later just what kind of geeky and nerdy things we've been getting into. Because, hey, you may want to go check them out yourselves. And I am not going to go first because I left the things I wanted to showcase stacked over on the other side of the room. So I'm going to say, Willie, why don't you kick things off for us? What you been getting into?
I'm so glad. I think last week I forgot to mention what I'm into. I forgot to mention I watched JoJo's Rabbit for the first time. It was a good movie. Good movie. I mean, and to bring it back to your news of the week, Chris, who doesn't like dead Nazis? I love dead Nazis. The only good Nazi is a dead Nazi, right? Oh, wait, was that a line from Inglourious Bastards? If not, it should have been.
Might have been. What was the name of that movie, Willie?
JoJo Rabbit. Or is it JoJo's Rabbit? Oh, I'm sorry.
JoJo Rabbit. There's no S.
It's JoJo Rabbit?
Yep. No possession. JoJo Rabbit.
Damn it, Jojo Rabbit.
There you go.
There it is. Jojo Rabbit.
Jojo.
You see, I can make it better and fix it by making it a joke.
I met that guy.
Yeah.
He was awesome.
Yeah. Scarlett Johansson was good in it. Sam Rockwell knocked it out of the park.
Sam Rockwell knocks everything out of the park, to be fair.
Damn it. He's
incredibly talented.
Supremely talented. I still need to see Moon.
You haven't seen Moon? Oh.
Yeah. You know, the movie starring the plethora of actors, Sam Rockwell.
Yeah, you're right.
Featuring Sam Rockwell.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's the Sam
It's
Rockwell
slap
movie.
to the face. But yeah, it was a good movie. It was a little weird. I'm not gonna lie, it got a little weird at the end when I'm sorry, Taika Waititi, I don't need you to tell me that war is bad. I already know that shit. Like, yeah, why are you trying to make me feel bad in a war? I know it's bad. Like, I don't need to be told it, but sure, whatever. They did put a little comedic elements in that scene, but it should have been a little bit more comedic elements. That's my little taste for it. I also saw a movie this week, Saltburn, which apparently is on Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
Like is an Amazon original, right? Or they own it or something?
I know it's on Amazon Prime. I don't know if it's an original or not, but I know it's on Amazon Prime. I keep getting the pop-up for it.
So, so enjoy the, let me see, how can I word this? The late night white dress scene, and also enjoy the bathtub scene, and really supremely enjoy the graveyard scene. Yeah, I forget. I don't know how to pronounce the guy's last name. Barry Keoghan?
Oh, Barry Cogan.
Cogan. That's how you pronounce this, Cogan?
Yeah, I think you don't pronounce the E, if I remember correctly.
Okay, because I know he was also in Eternals.
It is an Amazon original. Yeah, Saltburn is an Amazon original.
Yeah, it's the same guy who's in Eternals, who's like the cult leader guy. Well, he has
that's his superpower. He can make people do whatever he wants.
Yeah, he lives a good life in the woods, apparently. But
why not in a van down by the river?
Saltburn is an experience. Make sure you're ready for a weird ride, not a wild, a weird ride. It will take you off your comfort zone. Oh God, that bathtub scene. That really takes you. Oh, the slurping. Yeah, so I've also been going through Lost Judgment as well, trying to beat it before the end of the week, because what comes out at the end of the week, guys?
A game.
Weekend?
Yes, you're right. Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth will finally release my very first Yakuza game mainline series that I've been a fan of on release day. Cannot wait for it. So I wonder what my news next week's going to be about. Spoiler? I don't know.
How much he loves the game.
Murdermon?
Or Murder Pokemon.
No.
Actually, it's going to be about the Steam Deck he bought to be playing the Murder Pokemon game.
These are fresh wounds that you just love putting the Saltburn into. Let's bring it all together.
Sorry, Willie. Had to be done.
Mm-hmm.
No, it didn't. It was uncalled for.
Says who?
Listen here, you troglodyte. Yeah, I'm bringing out the big words. That sounded derogatory, didn't it? That's on purpose. But other than that, that's all I've really been getting into, except for going to Joann's a lot this week for all that yarn in that bag.
Yeah, if you were here on pre-show, you saw all that yarn. Willie's got a lot of yarn.
It's a whole bag, a tote of yarn.
A tote.
Bag
It's
full of
totes
yarn.
his yarn. Totes his.
Totally.
Totally his. All right, so I'm going to go next then. My list is relatively short. I am almost done watching Tacoma FD on Netflix. I still find it to be quite funny. When you get to season 4, one of the characters vanishes because the guy who plays the character of Andy Maiwani is also in Loki season 1 and 2 and was upgraded to a regular in season 2. So there's this whole bit in the very first episode of season 4 of Tacoma FD about where'd Andy go? Well, he picked up a carpet job with his uncle. He really likes all these he likes it because it's really low key. Like, oh yeah, I'd like a low key job too, and stuff like that. So
Nice.
yeah, they made a nice little reference to the fact he went to go and work on the Loki movie. I thought that was fun.
Oh, it's that guy. Oh yeah. Yeah, he has a distinctive look.
Yes. The other thing, do you guys remember the show At Midnight that was on Comedy Central for a long time? Had been hosted by Chris Hardwick.
Points.
Yes. Did you know they brought it back
Mm-hmm.
Wait, what
this
was the show
week
again?
at midnight?
Taylor Tomlinson.
Yeah.
That's right. This
I
week
thought
was
about that in years.
the premiere of After Midnight that is on CBS at 12:35 a.m., which is basically At Midnight, hosted by Taylor Tomlinson and an hour long.
Do I
Taylor
know that
Tomlinson's a
person?
comedian you may have seen with multiple Netflix specials.
All right, Taylor. Let me look this up.
She's legitimately a hilarious comedian.
Yeah, she's funny.
Yeah, she's funny. And I think as she's getting more comfortable in the first 3 episodes I've seen, you're getting to see more of that humor. I really enjoyed it.
Her, but I don't know from what.
I forgot how much I enjoyed At Midnight. My main concern is, well, I have 2 concerns really. One, it's an hour-long show, which seems like a bit much for an At Midnight kind of thing, which really is about 42 minutes when you factor in commercials and stuff like that. And 2, CBS tends to skew older demographically. I'm not sure how a game show based off internet memes and internet culture is going to work with CBS's older population. Now, that being said, I think their intent is to try and market it online and through streaming and things like that to get younger eyes on it. Like they put the first 2 or 3 episodes up for free on their YouTube channel to get people interested in checking it out. If you like At Midnight,
Promotion.
it's pretty much At Midnight, but with some new segments and a little bit longer.
It's pretty much At Midnight, just afterwards.
Yeah, pretty much.
So sorry.
And without a problematic host at this point in time, too, because
is
near
he
the
still
end there.
problematic?
He
I don't
was
remember
at that
what
point
he
in
did.
time, and he's kind of vanished from public view as far as I can tell. So I don't really know what is going
What
on.
do you
with
get called for? Just being a dick
It's
to his
easy to do.
girlfriends? Piece of
It's easy
shit.
to do when you marry a billionairess.
him. Also true. Also true.
Oh, bring it back to Saltburn.
There you go.
Watch the movie
Yeah,
to
'cause-
figure out what that means.
Yeah, because the old host of Before Midnight or At Midnight, I think, actually lives in a castle now in America. So yeah, it really is like Saltburn level of real fucking rich shit.
I mean, if you had that choice, I'd choose it. I can't say. I mean,
Look, I'm just
I'd do
saying, if you enjoyed At Midnight, After Midnight is very much the same thing with a lot of the same segments. And then they added some more, which the most recent one was they did something off of a TikTok video they had. And then they did this whole 10-minute long bit on, you now have to pitch a movie. And it was, okay, now you need to tell us what the big emotional monologue is that would be in this movie. What's the subtitle for the movie? And it was kind of this whole movie pitch thing they did was pretty funny. But at the same, and what I liked about At Midnight, which I think I'm going to like about After Midnight, is it introduced me to a lot of comedians I hadn't heard of before. And so like the first 3 episodes, like there's always been at least 1 or 2 comedians that I've known that have been on the cast. They've only done 3 episodes. Then it's 1 or 2 comedians I've not heard of. And then I hear how funny they are. And then I'm like, oh shit, I need to go check out their other projects, be it stand-up specials or their podcasts and stuff like that. So it's a really cool way to introduce yourself to other comedians that are out there and to learn about them. Like that part of what I loved about At Midnight, like I didn't know who Ron Funches was until he was on At Midnight.
Oh wow!
Wait, you
never
know
heard of
Ron
Funches?
Funches till at
Yeah.
midnight?
Yeah,
The
Ron
man
Funches.
with the golden laugh?
was my introduction to Ron Funches, was at midnight.
Nice.
And then I was like, oh my
I've
God,
seen
I gotta consume as much Ron Funches content as I can because the dude's hilarious. And I think that is where something like At Midnight and now After Midnight is cool, is that it puts a whole bunch of new comedians in front of people that may or may not have heard of them before and gives them a chance to learn about the kind of jokes they tell and stuff like that. And I find it delightful. I don't know if we're going to have it for long term, just because, I mean, it's better than the James Corden show that was on there before, but it's not pulling in the ratings that James Corden show was. So who knows?
Yeah, that was the first thing I was interested in, to see who the comedians listed in the first 3 episodes are. And yeah, the fact that episode 1 is Whitney Cummings, Aparna Nancherla, and Kurt Braunohler, like that's funny. Like I know that show is going to be funny with those 3 comedians.
And then Paul F. Tompkins was in episode 2. And Paul F.
Yep.
Tompkins is absolutely hilarious.
He's awesome.
Delightful.
Yes. It has been absolutely delightful. The only thing that felt a little awkward was in episode 3, they had a Max Greenfield in there who Schmidt from New Girl is who you might know him as. He's also in a CBS show called Neighbors. So like they kind of cross promoted there.
Based on the movie?
No, I don't think it is.
Okay.
Or The Neighborhood, excuse me. The thing I learned there is Max Greenfield's a funny person, but it seems more like Max Greenfield's a funny person performing what a writer gives for him versus when you put him on stage with 2 comedians. And I don't mean this to sound disparaging, because he could be a funny dude. You're just getting outclassed by people who are professional at being funny. And like he got eliminated at the end and he's like, oh, thank God, and tried to run off stage. Like, no, you can't leave yet. Because I think he was starting to see the fact that like he's a funny guy, but these people are much better at coming up with a joke off the top of their head and things like that, because that is their job.
Yeah, a funny actor, a funny comedic actor is not the same skill set as someone with a microphone on stage being heckled that can attack back to the crowd and has that quick fucking just, has that brain where they can just fire back instantly. That's a skill. It is a hell of a skill.
Yeah. So I wasn't trying to be disparaging there. It's just, I think you kind of run into a point there where it's obviously why they wanted him on there was to cross promote an upcoming show that's going to be coming on for its whatever season it is. But it's a funny dude who got outclassed by comedians because that's their job versus an actor who can be funny, but isn't always having to be funny. That's not a bad thing. It just was noticeable.
The real question is CBS going to have Doug Benson on After Midnight, and is he going to be the undisputed champion again?
I don't know. And that's what's going to be very interesting is to see who comes back and to see how many of those comedians from At Midnight, and I hesitate to use this term, I'm going to use it, are too big for After Midnight now. Because remember, some of these folks that were on At Midnight, this is my chance to get eyes on me and to get exposure and do other things. And now a lot of those guys have done that. So is After Midnight a drawback for them to want to be able to do it? I don't know. And at the same time, maybe they look at it as like, I don't know if I should be coming back to this because I want to make sure that other young comedians or lesser known comedians get this chance to be exposed to a nationwide audience where people learn about the stuff that they do and go and check them out. I honestly have no idea.
Now, was Doug Benson only on there because he was friends with, and I'm saying the name wrong on purpose for funny, Chadwick Boseman?
That's
don't use Chadwick's name.
That's the wrong name to use.
Oh, we can make fun of fucking Cucumber Bender Snatch's name all the damn time.
You had to say was Chris Softwick. It's right there.
Yeah,
it's so easy.
That's a good one.
It's a good one.
And not disparage an amazing actor that died of cancer, man. Damn. I don't know if he was only on there because he was friends with that comedian or also because Doug's really fucking fast and funny and good on camera. And he actually was great at winning the show. So I hope they'll bring him back just because, like, didn't he do like 80 episodes of At Midnight? Like he was on more than like 10 times more than anybody else. Like it was ridiculous how often he was on that damn show. But it's because he's good at it. This now is on CBS.
Yeah, it was on Comedy Central, but After Midnight is on CBS now. Is it going
to be on Hulu, I wonder?
No, it's on Paramount Plus, but you have to have the Showtime subscription to get it, evidently, is what someone was telling me in the Discord, which seems really weird. But they have put the first 3 episodes up on their YouTube channel so far.
So it goes out free on TV. Like it just goes on the airway for free.
Yes.
But to see it, you have to have a Showtime subscription
on top of your Paramount Plus.
Oh my God. Why?
Or just record it on your DVR.
Listen, pirate all the shit you want. If this is how they're going to do the shit to you.
No, don't
or you have to
pirate
all
stuff.
This, no, fuck them. Fuck them. You have to go through so many hoops just to watch one goddamn show. Fuck
Or you
them.
could just
Fuck them.
turn on your TV.
Or just
Well,
not
also-
watch it. Let it die. Send
right,
a message.
so-
I'll say
No, this is a good show. Don't let it die. And I think it should do all right there because Stephen Colbert and his production company are the producers for this show that directly follows Colbert's late night show. So hopefully that means that if the numbers aren't quite where they want because they're trying to get a younger demographic, they're going to factor into other things.
Will be the company's downfall.
It's going to be all companies' downfall with these streaming services.
Good.
We've seen
Let
it already.
them die.
Yeah, I think we're about to get to that point where a bunch of streaming services die off because people are like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore.
Didn't we go to streaming to get rid of the fucking subscription, or not the fucking buying all this shit, all these
yes,
channels?
and then as soon as they hooked everyone, they changed the model back to that. So now everyone's going to leave again.
Yeah.
Learn your lesson, old man.
Willie, all of this has happened before. All of this will happen again.
Yeah.
To quote Ron Moore's Battlestar Galactica.
I don't understand it. It blows my brain. Like, how does this make them money? How are people such sheep that they
doesn't?
fall
That's
for
the
all
thing.
the time?
They're making a dumb decision to try and squeeze money out of people, and they're going to see that it doesn't work. For every one person that does decide, okay, I want to watch this show, so I'm going to upgrade to have the Showtime subscription, there's probably 10 or more. They're like, fuck you, and don't do it. Just saying.
Oh, I'm too angry for jokes now.
All right, one last thing that I've been getting into. I had some a mail call this week for some stuff that I had pre-ordered and I forgot about. I got 3 new figures for my wall from the Spider-Man No Way Home Marvel Legends series. We have first
Hey, that looks like a 40-year-old.
This is the friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, one Tobey Maguire in his suit from the end of the movie.
Is the mask like hard or is it like cloth like it goes over the head or is it replace it?
It's a replacement. You can pop the head off and put the Spider-Man head on.
Okay, I was curious about that. That'd be cool.
Then, and I don't know why they did the packaging differently. The Amazing Spider-Man, not Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield one with the same suit we saw in the movie, but not branded as Spider-Man No Way Home, branded as the Amazing Spider-Man 2 for some reason.
What the fuck?
Don't know why. And then finally, because it had to be done, the Tom Holland MCU Spider-Man, but not with all of the big suits that we saw. The one we saw at the very end of the movie, his blue and red standard suit.
Nice.
But, so Tobey Maguire and Holland are in the same packaging, but Garfield gets the weird shit.
Yeah, I don't understand why. I don't know.
It's kind of fitting because the Amazing Spider-Man got all the weird shit. He got the
Paul
lizard
Giamatti
movie.
and Rhino? Yeah, awesome shit.
Yeah, it's still weird.
You want to get into
Russian gangster Paul Giamatti in a mech suit.
Yeah, looked awesome. It was great. Good.
If you want to get it, if you want to get into some weird shit, go and see what they screwed up with the Spider-Woman movie about the Spider-Man appearances they wanted to do and then realized they couldn't do. Good God, it's a mess.
There's gonna be a Spider-Woman movie. Are you talking about
they've already showed previews for it, and
Madam Web.
Yeah, that's what my bad. Madam Web, whatever the fuck it is.
Okay,
It looks
that's why
like
I was getting
poop.
confused. Like Spider-Woman.
Yeah, but Spider-Woman's in it. And that's what confused me. I don't.
Drew.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were originally going to have one Spider-Man in it. Then they were going to have another one. Then they realized nothing worked with the timeline. So all the stuff they plotted out to have that Spider-Man appearance, they yanked out of the movie. Yeah.
So instead of figuring it the fuck out, they just said we're just ripping it out.
It had something to do with the time in which that movie was set. Once they then picked their Spider-Man, they realized that wouldn't work based off the timeline that had been established. They then had to yank all the stuff out that they were going to do with Spider-Man.
I mean, sure, if you think that's the best, sure.
Look, we don't really think the Madam Web movie is going to do any good.
Not at all. I saw the trailer. I don't know what the fuck's it's about.
Yeah, it looks like
the only Madam Web I know is gray-haired and had a weird singlet that goes all the way down.
And hold on, before anyone tries to make some argument Chris is being sexist towards Madam Web, no, it's just that most of Sony's Spider-Man movies, aside from what they've done recently with Marvel, have been trash, and all of their spin-offs using Spider-Man characters without Spider-Man tend to be shit. That's more of my point.
Yeah,
it has nothing to do with the gender of the characters.
Hey, don't forget, it's Morbin time.
God, I can't believe that meme happened and they
watched
thought it was a good idea to put the movie back out.
Did either of you guys watch
Yeah.
it?
No.
You didn't?
What,
Bachman,
the
did you watch
Morbius
it?
movie?
Yeah.
Of course I watched it.
Wait, you did?
Of course I watched it.
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
yeah.
It was a Spider-Man villain
That's
movie.
bones.
Doesn't matter if it's trash. I'll still watch it. I'm going to watch Craven. It's
So
going to be
did
trash.
you
I'm
see
gonna
all
watch
the
it.
twists happening 20 minutes before it happened?
Are you kidding
that's
me?
the bad guy, right? Yeah, of course. Duh.
I could have wrote the entire story after like the opening sequence.
And you know how I feel about these jokes? I could have farted out a better fucking script than that shit.
The
Yeah.
man who doesn't like fart jokes is now making a fart reference here.
There you go.
Yeah, man. I'm making a
Interesting.
fart joke, making a fart reference.
Interesting.
That's the line, the fine line.
Interesting. And I guess the last thing I've been getting into is I am almost fully caught up with all of my professional wrestling for this week. I have like an hour of Collision to watch this afternoon because I didn't get it all watched this morning. Pro wrestling content is fun, and I'm very excited. And this will only matter to Bachman and maybe a select handful of our viewers here that they are bringing back the rankings in AEW with 2024.
Nice.
Meaning,
What the fuck?
it used to be if you wanted to be the number one contender for the title, you had to have the best record in the company at that point in time to get it. And then they stopped doing their
shit.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
stopped doing the record stuff.
Oh,
Now they're bringing it back, starting in 2024, starting I think next week.
Yeah, because I want to think they were doing it and then they restarted it over the year. So it was like rankings started in like 2019 or 2020, whatever. And then it was weird because when January rolled around, they would say like this wrestler went 32-4 last year, and their record is now 0-0 for 2020. And it was kind of cool to have that on the ticker, and the fact that like they were actually keeping track of the actual wins and losses. Because it was something to where like, oh, you couldn't just show up and say, hey, I'm popular, I'm going after the title. It's like, no, bitch, you got to go win a couple matches. Like I kind of like that Tony Khan did that.
No, you got to go win a couple of matches.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, you got to have someone behind the script write it in for you. I don't get these numbers.
Not someone.
Yeah, it's a
Tony
fun
Khan.
idea,
There's
but-
only one someone. Tony Khan. One guy. He writes it all.
I mean, it's not.
Which is
bad,
why
but
their
it's-
stories work and WWE's don't.
They don't always work. Let's be fair here.
It's all. I mean,
I'll take a Tony Khan script over a Vince McMahon writer's room any day.
Yeah,
Well, I'm not
luckily
talking
Vince
about
is
the
no
script
longer
of the
there.
Storylines. I mean, like, who wins? These numbers are arbitrary. They don't matter. They're the points in at midnight. They don't. Well, I guess they're those minutes. The points in whose line is it anyway? They don't fucking matter.
Actually, the
Who
points in that
cares?
midnight don't really matter anyways.
Oh well, yeah,
They're
thank
pretty
you.
arbitrary. But that's
Oh,
neither
I
here nor
can't remember.
there.
It's been years since I've seen
That's
that
what
shit.
That's what I've been getting into. I'm going to head off this rant on professional wrestling records, and I'm going to toss things over to Bachman to let us know what he's been getting into.
See, I finished up painting my Felgor Ravager for the monthly mini of the month, which now our local games workshop store here in Boise has started a new thing where each month there's going to be a painting contest. So I finished that guy, and I can't show it to you because it is in a glass case down at the store. And I think voting starts today or tomorrow.
Is it on your
And-
Instagram?
That's how you can
yes.
take a picture of.
I'll get it
No.
for you.
I did take a picture. Yeah, I got it. I think it might be the last thing I posted. Yeah, there's pictures and a video of it on my Instagram. But yeah, so I finished the painting of it, finished the base. I'm pretty happy with it. I've never painted that type of character before, and it's basically a Minotaur with a las pistol. So it's kind of cool looking. And when I took mine in yesterday, there were 2 others in the case. So yeah, not sure when. I've been checking the Facebook page for the Warhammer store in Boise because that's the only social media they have. They haven't mentioned when the voting is going to start yet, but it's supposed to go for a week. There we go. That's the guy. So yeah, so turned that in yesterday, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with it.
I don't blame you. How's the competition?
It
look,
looks
though,
good.
Since you've seen the other 2.
I will say I think I could, with just the other 2, I could easily get first or second place. One of them I think has a pretty cool concept. He basically did it like Hellboy. So it basically looks like an angry cow. He did it in all red and then put him above a bunch of skulls. The other one's not bad, but I think because the other guy did it in kind of a gray fur and then like a white beard, his Minotaur looks old. And so, yeah, I don't know. I think mine's definitely better than that one.
An
But yeah,
Elder Tour.
Yeah. But no, yeah, it's pretty cool that I'm happy with it. And I was, excited that I haven't, this is the first time I've entered a contest. So win, lose, or draw, I have painted something to the point where I was willing to put it into a contest. So I'm pretty happy with how it turned out, and I'm excited to see how the voting goes. And probably tomorrow I'll be on my Facebook telling all my friends and family in Boise to get their asses down to that store and go vote for my guy, because it is still just kind of a popularity contest. So I at least hope my family and friends will go down and vote for mine. But yeah, so I did that, and so now I'm kind of excited because now I don't have a kill team match coming up. I don't have anything else planned currently in the future. So after we're done here, I can go build my Plague Burst tank that my wife got me for Christmas, and I'm not on a timer anymore. So because nice. I had to get this thing done to play this game, and I had to get this thing done to play this game, and then I had to get this thing done for the contest. Can I just sit and enjoy my painting and my building? Thank you. I would like some quiet time.
Sorry. What did you think Warhammer 40K was all about? It ain't about having fun. Get the shit out of here.
Yes, it is. It's my hobby.
It's not.
Yeah, so I've got kill team terrain that I've primed that can be painted. I've got kill team orcs put together that need to be primed. I've got Drukari that my buddy, he had primed his 10 for the last time we played kill team, but he'd only had a time to paint 1 or 2 of them, and so I actually had him leave one with me, so I'm going to paint one of his Drukari for him just because I haven't painted that type of character yet, so I want to try it. And I think when I texted him yesterday, he said he still hasn't painted anything since we played, and so he hasn't had time to paint them either. So yeah, I've got all those. I got my tank to build. I got my Plague Marines from Christmas to build. So I have a bunch of stuff to build. I have a bunch of stuff to paint. I have plenty of stuff to work on. And yeah, right now, nothing is on a clock. So it'll be a little more enjoyable this week. Though apparently, with the Warhammer store, the kid that runs it, Logan, said each month now when they release the new figure, he's going to do this painting contest every month. So nice. I might be going, picking up a figure and having a week to build it and paint it and get it back to the store every month. But hey, if I get to paint a free figure every month and maybe win something, awesome. And plus, it gives me experience painting and building figures that I wouldn't necessarily go buy a set. I'm not going to go buy the Felgor Ravager kill team, but painting that 1 Minotaur was really fun. I enjoyed it, and it's not a character I would buy. So I like painting the free minis. They're awesome because also I was thinking about too, it's especially after this one, I kind of went really hard on this one. I solidly worked on this figure for 2 weeks, which is ridiculous. I watched these crazy ass videos of people on YouTube and stuff, and they're painting a mini in an hour.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I didn't do I don't get any one layer or one color done in an hour. I'm ridiculous the way I do it, but layers makes it look good. But yeah, so I had fun painting it. I'm looking forward to doing more. And then, hopefully by next week, the contest runs until the 27th. So next Saturday is when voting ends. So by next episode, I may know how I did. I may not. Definitely by 2 episodes from now, I will know for sure. But yeah, I've entered a painting contest. And so I'm excited with what I turned in, and, fingers crossed it does well. As long as I get, a couple of votes, at least, then I won't be sad. Other than that, I haven't had many. I think I've played 2 matches of Dead by Daylight all week. I have not played much. Haven't had really any time for video games between that and just lots of OT at work. And so, I got a great paycheck coming up, but that's most of what I've done this week. And so, we got through, like I said, I think the first 2, maybe 3 episodes of season 2 of The Wheel of Time. I rewatched all of Invincible again, just because I know that my Amazon Prime's about to turn off for a while. And so I watched those 4 episodes for the 5th time, just because Invincible season 2 is fucking fantastic. And then, I finished all of Jack Reacher season 2, episode 8 just came up, I think, last Friday. And damn good show. Reacher season 1 was fun. Reacher season 2 was even better. And there's a nice wrap up at the end of episode 8 to where you get, the end of the story and then everything that happened because of the end of the story, and they did a really solid job. It's always that thing where at the end of the movie you see something happen, you're oh well, what happened to? They really nail down that and go through each character and each family that was affected during the story in season 2, and they give you just a really solid wrap up. And I mean, freaking Alan Ritchson, if he plays Reacher for 10 seasons, I will watch it. There's a huge rumor mill going on now that people are talking chalking up his name for him to be the guy who steps in for James Gunn to be the new Batman. And yeah, if you take his reacher and put a cowl on him, that's perfect. Like, it works perfect. He's already played multiple superheroes, and just, it's believable that this guy physically can basically destroy anybody you put him on screen with. Just the way he carries himself, as big as he's gotten himself, and just the way he moves on camera, he makes it look good and realistic. And that's not something even every martial artist can do. People that are really good trained fighters can't always look great on camera. Alan Richardson looks great on camera, just physically clubbing people to death. And so, yeah, I really hope they actually get him in a bat suit, because it will be awesome. Other than that, yeah, the only other thing I've had a little time for, I've done a little bit of reading. Wife got me my birthday present. I got the Matthew Perry book, Friends, Lovers, and the Big Terrible Thing. Not exactly fun reading, but I'm enjoying the book. It's a great book, but it's a guy that dealt with a whole lot of addiction problems. And so, like, if you're interested in that, it's a fantastic story. If you want something fun to read, I would not recommend it. Like, the guy went through some serious shit, and he basically almost died, I think, like 3 times so far, and I'm not even halfway through the book. Like, this dude basically, I mean, he killed himself with, drugs and alcohol, with his addiction. Like, he did massive damage to his body. But like, when he wrote this, he was very clear about everything that he did. And it's good because, like, he's like, oh no, I did this to me, and this is what happened, and this is what I want people to see, so they can know that, like, you can fight addiction, you can work against it. Like, it's not fun, but, like, it's possible. And so it is a really good book. And so I am enjoying it. And, it's a hell of a birthday present. I was looking forward to reading it, and it was not what I thought she was going to get me. And yeah, it's really well written. And it's one of those books where, like, you can tell, like, Matthew Perry wrote this. Like, this isn't some, Hollywood ghostwriter, and it kind of sounds like him. It's like, no, this is, like, after watching 10 years of Friends and all of his movies, like, this feels very much like hearing his thoughts. And so it's a good read. It ain't fun, but it's good, and it's very interesting. And that's all I've been getting into.
Well, nice. On that note, then, I guess we are about ready to start shutting things down. A friendly reminder before we shut things down, we do stream this show live every Sunday at 11 a.m. Eastern, at 10 a.m. Central, over at www.gonnageek.com/live. Please do not use the geeks.live URL anymore, as it is likely going away here in the short term. One real quick cross promotion thing: the official GonnaGeek.com show did return for 2024 just this week, so stay tuned to the feeds. That episode should be dropping soon. We had a lot of fun with that. For those that are unaware, it is part of the Gonna Geek Network, just like we are. There's a whole network of podcasts out there, so please head on over to GonnaGeek.com. Check out all the other podcasts on the network, and please go check out some of the other great content we have, or head on over to the Discord. That's at GonnaGeek.com/Discord. You can talk to us there and all of the other members of the Gonna Geek community. There is, in fact, an individual channel for the ATGN podcast there, where you can chat specifically about podcast stuff. And if you want to send us hate messages, that's the place to do it, because it's the most entertaining there. Just make sure you tag at South Porky. Willie likes to know about them.
Wait, is that my name on Discord?
I don't know. It might be Willie D. Nelson. I can't remember.
At South Porky. Who cares? Dude,
at South Porky or at Willie D. Nelson. Either way, you'll find him.
It's like the bat signal in the sky. I know. I'm there.
We should make a Willie signal.
No,
it's just going to be a set of balls.
No. It's going to be Willie's face when he had the long beard. Just the silhouette. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
All right.
Why you got to try and make
trim mine
things
down
dirty?
last week because it's getting a little too long for my taste. If I can put it in my own mouth, it's a little weird.
All right. Well, on that note, then, before I shut this thing down, do you guys have any final parting thoughts for the people?
Who am I kidding? It's always weird if you can put it in your own mouth.
Do you have any final parting thoughts for the people?
Oh, sorry. That was for me. Shit. You're right. I'm wrong. I'm sorry.
Evidently, there are no final thoughts for the people. So I will say thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank you for putting up with some level of shenanigans that happens from time to time. And we look forward to seeing you all next week. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this brand new episode of the All Things Good and Nerdy podcast. Don't forget, we'll be back next Sunday live at 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central over at live.atgnpodcast.com, channel 3 of the Alpha Geek radio app, and over at our network home at gonnageek.com/live. If you have any feedback for the show, please contact us atgnpodcast@gonnageek.com, on our hotline number at 304-806-ATGN, or even better, go to Twitter and send us a message at ATGN Podcast. The music you've heard in this show is produced by Kevin MacLeod and can be found at incompetech.com.